we get going at 4:10 right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Saturday afternoon with Jack McMullen and Marlins All-Star Gabby Sanchez. I'm Steven Strom. When I tell you we got a sensational show, we have a fabulous show for you. We got a Power Pack broadcast, and we thank you for your participation. Dan Shulman, who is the television voice of the Toronto Blue Jays, he will join Jack McMullen in just a couple of seconds. Blue Jays manager John Schneider will join me in segment 2 to talk about Clayton McCullough. These two were in the same organization, of course, in the Toronto Blue Jays, both managed at different times in the minor league. So a really cool connection there. We'll get you at the count with Barrios and Junk. Jack and Gabby will break down headlines. Plus, we got a special surprise we got to get to. Thanks to Gabby and those vocal cords that are working. X-Poll question at Marlins Radio, Steve's guarantee to victory. So let's get to Dan Shulman, the television voice of the Toronto Blue Jays, breaking down Game 1, previewing Game 2, plus one of his greatest calls of all time did not come in a Toronto Blue Jays game.
Thank you very much, Steven. Here with Blue Jays TV voice Dan Shulman. You've been doing this for a while, so I got to ask you, is there a moment in Blue Jays history that beats Christian Watford at the buzzer for Indiana to beat Kentucky?
Wow, that's a question I've never been asked before. So I appreciate you saying I've been doing it for a while as opposed to like, you've been doing this for a long time, Dan. But I was lucky enough to call the Jose Bautista home run in the playoffs, the bat flip home run for ESPN radio. So I wasn't doing it for Toronto or Canadian TV or radio, but I was in the ballpark in my hometown when the Bautista bat flip happened. I have to put that one just this much ahead of Watford for the win, although that's a memory I'll always have. I mean, when Indiana's good, it's great there. Kentucky was number one. You know all that stuff. So I'm very lucky. I've got like 2 totally separate lives going here, and each of them is pretty fun.
Did you have somebody yelling unbelievable when Jose Bautista hit the homer?
No, it was. I'll tell you a funny story. So my parents were there with 2 of my sons, one of whom you know. And earlier in that game, like there was a kind of a controversial call. Russell Martin threw the ball back to the mound. It hit Shin-Soo Choo's bat and bounced out into the infield, and Texas scored a run, and they threw bottles on the field. And it was the right call, as it turns out, but everybody went nuts, thought it was an anti-Canadian conspiracy. So I texted my parents and my son, and I said, listen, if they lose, there might be a riot here. I said, stay in your seats, and I'll come get you. Bautista homers in the bottom half of the inning, and I said, we're good. I'll see you at home.
That is awesome. Dan Shulman, I'm curious about your conversation with Liam Hicks because it seems like you've had a run-in with our catcher before.
Yeah, although I don't remember it because Liam was 12, 13 years old, but there's enough circumstantial evidence and people with good memories to remember that Liam, when he played for the North Toronto A's, the North Toronto Athletics, kind of from ages maybe like 9 to 13, that the team I was coaching, which my son Ben, again, who you know, was on, they were in the same loop as us, and we would play them 2 or 3 times. I don't think I have my old scorebooks from those years to go look at them, but I know my co-coach has an impeccable memory, and he remembers. So Liam, I think Liam was a catcher, shortstop, pitcher back then, and, you know, the best player on the team. Obviously, he turned into a big leaguer, but it's pretty cool because we were playing at we call it rep ball, what's called travel ball in the States, and we were playing at a pretty good level, but not like, you know, the unbelievably top elite. And so for a guy like Liam, I don't even want to say that he was a late bloomer, but it shows you don't have to be, as an 8-year-old, you know, giving up your whole life to get to that level at that age. Liam really didn't go to kind of the elite level till he was like 16, 17 years old, then went to a junior college, then went to Arkansas State. So nice young man. He and I were, you know, playing a little Toronto geography. His parents live about 1.5 miles from where I live. You know, so we had some reference points in common, and just a nice guy. There are about, notice I didn't say a boot, that's a fallacy. There are about 20 Canadians in the majors, so, you know, we like to take a little bit of extra time whenever we see one. So.
And we've got 2 guys that are, in all likelihood, representing Team Canada in the World Baseball Classic, and Liam and Otto Lopez. I want to get to your side. You guys are 21 games over 500, and I feel like coming into this year, a lot of people were saying, oh, Toronto, they're probably 4th or 5th in the American League East. So the overarching question, how have they curbed that idea?
This is the question I get asked whenever we go to a new town and speak with the broadcasters from a team that our team hasn't seen yet. How are they doing this? So some of it is internal improvement. Bo Bichette missed half the season last year and hit 225 in the half he did play. He's Bo Bichette right now. George Springer had a subpar year last year at the age of 34. You assume maybe this is the beginning of the decline. He's got a 900 OPS. He's the third or fourth best offensive player in the league. Those are two monster elements right there. Addison Barger has turned from a, boy, isn't he toolsy, and wouldn't this be fun, into a guy, an 800 OPS guy, plays two positions, hits for power, that sort of thing. Those are three big parts of it. It's not like they've been blessed with everything. Dalton Varsho's only played in about 45 games. Anthony Santander barely played and didn't hit when he did play, and I don't think he's going to come back. Max Scherzer missed the first half of the season. Like, a lot went wrong. So the secret sauce is the depth that I don't know if they knew they had. Nathan Lucas, Ernie Clement, Miles Straw, Tyler Heineman, Joey Loperfido, who's been sent down, Tommy Nance giving them big innings, Braden Fisher, Mason Fluharty, like guys who we knew about, but they were like, are they prospects or are they 4A guys or what are they? And almost every time John Schneider has rolled the dice, it's come up sevens. It's really been amazing. I mean, as you said, I've been doing this a while, and you don't see a lot of years like this where the moves work. I give the front office a lot of credit. The depth has been really good. This has been a 1 through 26 and really like a 1 through 44 kind of season for them, where so many guys have come up from Buffalo and helped.
And we are wishing you guys the best of luck rest of the way. Not today, not tomorrow. Dan Shulman, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jack. Anytime.
All right, Steven.
Very good, Jack. We never wish these guys the best of luck. We appreciate the time, but we'll cheer for you on Monday. Okay, John Schneider, that is what Dan Shulman just referred to. This guy went from being on the hot seat. They won 74 games last year. They just won their 75th yesterday, and now he will join us in the next segment as him and Clayton McCullough managed together in the minor leagues. John managed in Toronto's system from 2009 to 2017. Clayton from 2007 to 2013. Don't you move a muscle. We are back in 2 minutes on the Marlins Radio Network.
Plus human.
0-1. Sanoha with the ground ball over to short. So Jay-Z flips to second for one, on to first, dug out by Contreras in time for the double play, but the run does come in to score. It's not productive from an RBI perspective. There are two men gone, but the Fish are on the board. It's 1-0 Marlins in the bottom of the second.
Like Citi Field fall.
Yep.
And Atlanta.
First pitch, that one a liner up the gut, rolling right through into center field. It plates two more. Marcian from third, Augustine around. He scores from second. Ball rolls back into the infield, and Heriberto Hernandez has a multi-hit, 2 RBI day. He makes it 3-0 Fish in the bottom of the third. Extended from the letters. And payoff again. That one a bouncing ball up the middle. That one is through for a base hit. They're going to wave Hicks around. Nootbaar's throw is going to third. It beats Hernandez by plenty. They tag him out there, but Hicks does come in to score. It's an RBI single for Troy Johnston, and there's some more breathing room for the Fish. It's 4-1 Marlins in the bottom of the fifth. Acosta hits high in the air, out to center and deep. Nootbaar is back at the track, and it's gone! Maximo, the first hit of his career, is a big fly. Maximo Acosta, 418 feet later, is in the hit column. And it's 5-2 Marlins in the bottom of the sixth. Someone get him that baseball.
Ow.
Here's the pitch. And it's cut on and missed. Sandy is fired up. It was perfect. A sinker at 93 dove to the lower inside edge. It's a season high. 9 punch-outs for Sandy Alcantara, and he looks like Cy Sandy tonight.
Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states. NMLC ID number 174475.
Joining us now here, Toronto Blue Jays manager John Schneider, Steven Strom here as we get you ready for the middle game of this 3-game set with the Blue Jays. And we had an emotional tie 2 weeks ago when Clayton was in Cleveland. He was drafted there. But this is where it really started for him. He managed in the minor leagues. But what's your relationship? Where does it go back with Clayton McCullough?
Started in the minor leagues with the Jays. You know, he was always kind of like an affiliate or two ahead of me managing, and then took on a coordinator role with us. Someone I looked up to. Someone when I started, you know, we're similar, you know, ages and kind of backgrounds. But when I started coaching, someone that I looked up to, how he communicated, how he kind of delivered messages to a room, his work ethic, his preparation. You know, it was really fun to work with him, and I think that he is really, really well deserving of the opportunity he's gotten to manage at the big league level. He was kind of a prospect in the making, you know, from a coaching standpoint with us, and I tried to kind of follow suit a little bit.
You talked about his communication style. What about Clayton McCullough that you saw that this guy could be a manager of a team one day?
He was very direct. You know, for one, he was very prepared, and he was very direct, and had different ways of explaining things to different types of people, you know, how they learn, how they take feedback, you know. So that was really apparent from the get-go with him. And it's part of the job here. You know, I've learned that on the fly, and I think his time in L.A., being around some big-name players, probably helped him with that too. So you have to be direct, you have to be upfront, and you have to be willing to have tough conversations. That was something that was really apparent when I met him.
And he managed some pretty good teams back in the day with Edwin Encarnacion, Marcus Stroman. I mean, those are some dudes in the system.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a challenge when you get some high-profile players, right? When you're kind of a younger guy, younger coach or manager, and how to approach them. You know, I'm still going through it with a guy like Max Scherzer, you know, where you're trying to learn their ins and outs a little bit and their, you know, their likes and dislikes. But you have to be open, and you have to be really, really upfront with how you're communicating with these guys. Clayton did a phenomenal job, I think, of earning the respect of older guys very quickly because of, you know, he's humble. He has really good ideas, but he's not trying to be the loudest voice or the smartest guy in the room. You know what I mean? And that goes a long way when you're trying to earn the respect of veteran players.
John Schneider with us now. Last one for you. You are having an incredible season. Congratulations to you guys. You are the front runner to win American League Manager of the Year, but you mentioned authenticity. Can you give me a couple more pillars of being a really successful manager?
Yeah, I mean, for one, it takes reps. You know, it takes time. This is my third full year doing it, and you're still learning on the fly. I think being consistent, being direct, and being your authentic self goes a long way. There's so much information in today's game, and you have to have a way about understanding it, for one, and then delivering it to different types of players. So it's a fine line for sure, but I think as long as you're being who you are and you're trying to instill things that you believe in to your guys, the buy-in and the overall chemistry of the team gets a little bit stronger with each passing day. So that's kind of what I've learned this year with this group, and been lucky enough to have a lot of guys that have been here for a number of years, and to kind of see it unfold has been pretty cool.
John, thank you so much for the time. Good luck on Monday, not today or tomorrow. We'll break. We'll get you out of the count at 4:10. Game 2 coming your way on the Marlins Radio Network.
Plus human.
0-1. Sanoha with the ground ball over to short. So Jay-Z flips to second for one, on to first, dug out by Contreras in time for the double play, but the run does come in to score. It's not productive from an RBI perspective. There are 2 men gone, but the Fish are on the board. It's 1-0 Marlins in the bottom of the 7th.
Like Citi Field Fall.
Yep.
And Atlanta.
First pitch, that one a liner up the gut, rolling right through into center field. It plates 2 more. Marcy in from third, Augustine around, he scores from second. Ball rolls back into the infield, and Heriberto Hernandez has a multi-hit, 2 RBI day. He makes it 3-0 Fish in the bottom of the 3rd. Extended from the letters. And payoff again. That one a bouncing ball up the middle. That one is through for a base hit. They're going to wave Hicks around. Nootbaar's throw is going to third. It beats Hernandez by plenty. They tag him out there, but Hicks does come in to score. It's an RBI single for Troy Johnston, and there's some more breathing room for the Fish. It's 4-1 Marlins in the bottom of the 5th. Acosta hits high in the air, out to center and deep. Nootbaar is back at the track, and it's gone! Maximo, the first hit of his career, is a big fly. Maximo Acosta, 418 feet later, is in the hit column. And it's 5-2 Marlins in the bottom of the 6th. Someone get him that baseball.
Now.
Here's the pitch. And it's cut on and missed. Sandy is fired up. It was perfect.
A sinker at 93, dove to the lower inside edge. It's a season high. 9 punch-outs for Sandy Alcantara, and he looks like Cy Sandy tonight.
Rex is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Hey, this is Anthony Bender, and you're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
Well, wherever you may be listening, however you may be listening on this rainy afternoon in beautiful Miami, Florida, we appreciate you for tuning in to Marlins on Deck here. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, Gabby Sanchez. Dominican Heritage Day at the ballpark should be a festive and electric atmosphere at Lone Depot Park. Jose Barrios will go opposite Jansen Junk today. Big thanks to Dan Schulman and John Schneider for jumping on the program on this, again, rainy and just summery. Humid. It's a hot Miami summer day, and thank goodness we are inside the comfort of Lone Depot Park. Let's get you ahead of the count. We'll start here with Jose Barrios, 31-year-old, what I would call a workhorse. This dude hasn't missed a start since breaking into the Twins organization in 2017. He was shipped from Minnesota to Toronto, and he's been really good for the Blue Jays. He's been a guy that's going to post every fifth day, two-time All-Star. He's 9-5 this season with a 4 ERA, 26 starts, 146 and a third innings pitched. He did take the loss on Sunday against Texas. He went 4 1/3, gave up 10 hits, 6 runs, only 2 punch-outs, 2 home runs, surrendered. This is a guy in Barrios that posted a 1.97 ERA in the month of June. You feel like he's really starting to trend in the right direction. All of a sudden, the calendar flipped to July, a 5.68 in 9 starts. But credit to the Toronto Blue Jays, Barrios is still 5-2 in that span with a 5.68 ERA in his arsenal. His sinker. He's got a slurve, he's got a four-seamer, a changeup, and a cutter. I heard John Schneider today when asked about the inconsistencies with Barrios. He mentioned the velocity of his fastball. He felt like the dip has caused the inconsistencies. We will see what the velo looks like this afternoon against the Marlins. He doesn't historically have a great fastball. It's more about his spin and his breaking ball stuff. That's his bread and butter. It's kind of a flat fastball. We'll see if the Marlins can take advantage of that today. Jansen Junk, 29-year-old right-hander, will make his 12th start of 2025 and 17th appearance. It's the guy that came out of the bullpen. He closed the game and now has pretty much been a fixture in the Marlins starting rotation. 6-2, a 4.05 ERA, 82 and a third innings pitch. How about this ratio? 58 punchies to 9 walks. Junk was outstanding on Sunday. This dude went toe-to-toe with Garrett Crochet at Fenway Park in front of 38,000. He went 7 innings, gave up just 2 runs, 6 punch-outs. It was his 4th quality start. And today I asked Clayton McCullough, I don't want to ask you about Jansen Junk, the pitcher. I want to ask you about Jansen Junk, the starter. What do you think of that?
I think he's been a fantastic revelation. I think we like Jansen a lot, in this offseason in spring training, the potential with his stuff, and also that our group could add to that arsenal and help deepen it. And, when he first came up and he was kind of pitching more in that bullpen role, again, like how he's got a deep mix, which helps. He can get out right and left. And so enough pitches we felt like, to start. And I think since he's been in the rotation, what he's done is given himself a chance to go deep in games because he's just, again, very efficient. And he's got multiple breaking balls. He's got enough fastball and a changeup as well. So a good mix versus both right and left. And, the strike throwing has been elite.
Little iron sharpens iron today because the Blue Jays don't strike out and Jansen Junk doesn't throw balls. So here we are. Junk has a 2.7% walk rate, lowest in all of Major League Baseball. Big question, how does Junk induce soft contact? Lucky for me, I've got a guy that played in the show. He'll answer that coming up next. Gabby and Jack, 4:10 first pitch, game 2, coming your way on the Marlins Radio Network.
Plus human.
0-1. Sanoha with the ground ball over to short. So Jay-Z flips to second for 1, on to first, dug out by Contreras in time for the double play, but the run does come in to score. It's not productive from an RBI perspective. There are 2 men gone, but the Fish are on the board. It's 1-0 Marlins in the bottom of the 7th.
Like Citi Field fall.
Yep.
And Atlanta.
First pitch, that one a liner up the gut, rolling right through into center field. It plates 2 more. Marcian from third, Augustine around. He scores from second. Ball rolls back into the infield, and Heriberto Hernandez has a multi-hit, 2 RBI day. He makes it 3-0 Fish in the bottom of the third. Extended from the letters. And payoff again. That one a bouncing ball up the middle. That one is through for a base hit. They're going to wave Hicks around. Nootbaar's throw is going to third. It beats Hernandez by plenty. They tag him out there, but Hicks does come in to score. It's an RBI single for Troy Johnston, and there's some more breathing room for the Fish. It's 4-1 Marlins in the bottom of the fifth. Acosta hits high in the air, out to center and deep. Nootbaar is back at the track, and it's gone. Maximo, the first hit of his career, is a big fly. Maximo Acosta, 418 feet later, is in the hit column. And it's 5-2 Marlins in the bottom of the sixth. Someone get him that baseball.
Now.
Here's the pitch. And it's cut on and missed. Sandy is fired up. It was perfect. A sinker at 93.
Productos y tarifas son adicionales. Después de la promo aplican tarifas regulares. Ahorros comparados a Verizon 5G Internet más una línea Limited Welcome y AT&T Internet 300 más una línea Limited Started SL. Requiere Xfinity Internet. Velocidades reales varían. Velocidades se reducen después del uso de 30 gigabits por línea. Los límites de datos y los ahorros reales varían.
Take the Marlins wherever you go. Download the iHeartRadio app and make Fox Sports 940 the top preset to listen to every Marlins game this season. It is game 129 of 162. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, Gabby Sanchez, Ahmed back in the studios hitting the 1s, 2s, 3s, maybe even 4s. Jose Barrios will go opposite Jansen Junk. And Gabby, we got you ahead of the count in segment 3, and I told you what you were going to get in segment 4. Jansen does not throw balls. He's not going to walk you. And lucky for us, the Toronto Blue Jays are not going to strike out, and they are a team that has incredible discipline. Big question, Gabby Sanchez, how does Jansen Junk, because you know he's going to induce contact, soft contact this afternoon?
I'd be better if I turned that on.
It's okay.
One of the things that you kind of have to look at with Jansen Junk is you're right. He's a strike thrower. He's going to be in the zone with all his pitches. Where he doesn't want to live is in the middle part of that zone, especially against a team like this, like the Blue Jays. Why? Because they're very aggressive early in the count. And if you make a mistake, especially up early in the count, they're swinging hard, right? But once you get them to 2 strikes, they start to really kind of narrow down that strike zone. So what I would like to see for him, kind of hit those corners with that fastball. What he did against the Red Sox, where he was attacking the corners, he was staying down in the zone. It's a lot harder to try to get some lift when you're down in the zone rather than you're up. Not saying, hey, don't throw it up. You can do that once you get the guy into 2 strikes, kind of work that up zone to then get that slider down in the way that he was throwing really well his last start. But we did see that this is a very patient team once they get to 2 strikes. So, you know what? Try to get that early contact with some pitches, maybe a little bit on that corner, and see if you can get them to hit it off the end of the bat.
Gabby, I'm going to come back to you. I printed out Jansen Junk's mix against the Boston Red Sox. I want to come back to you about that. But with Jose Barrios, Jack, this is a guy that's been up and down this year. We talked about the month of June, a 1.97 ERA. He's struggled ever since. Is it really the fastball that is the problem pitch for him? How do you see Barrios' struggles?
So honestly, yes. Like, it really all stems from the fastball. And I look at Barrios when he was one of the worst pitchers in baseball a couple of years ago. I think it was 2022 when he was, I think in terms of just earned runs allowed, the worst pitcher in the American League. And that was his first full season in Toronto. And you say, why was that? Well, it's because the fastball was just middle for the entirety of that season. Then he started working to the corners, and it's a little bit better. I mean, it's funny, like, we're having a pretty similar conversation between Jansen Junk and Jose Barrios. Barrios is a 9-figure pitcher. He has an $100 million contract attached to him. Junk signed a minor league free agent deal. And what are we talking about? It's the same darn thing.
Yeah,
executing your fastball. It's working around the perimeter. Barrios, one thing he is, I know in terms of performance, he's been up and down. He's on the mound literally all the time. Yeah. This guy, I did this. Last time he was on the IL, it wasn't the IL. It was the DL. It was in 2014 when he was a New Britain Rock Cat in AA for the Twins when he was 20 years old. 11 years since he was hurt.
I remember that start when I missed that.
Yeah, it was
2022 that Jack is referring to, Jose Barrios had a 5.23 ERA. He did lead the league in earned runs with 100 and hits at 199. Okay, back to Jansen Junk, Gabby Sanchez. When you look at the mix, what sticks out to you?
Well, I mean, here's the thing against the Red Sox, because you talked about it, right? It was establishing the fastball, and he threw it a whole bunch. And he's got a good one, too. I mean, 96 miles an hour on that fastball. 93 to 96, that's kind of where he's going to live. You can go 96 up in the zone, but if you're going to go 93, stay down. If you're down, especially with that fastball, being able to go kind of east and west, work in and out, you're going to get guys to chase that slider. He also has that sweeper that he throws off. He can throw the curveball, but when you look at his last start, it's really a 3-pitch mix. It was a slider, the sweeper, and the fastball. But he was controlling the zone early with that fastball to then get guys off of that sweeper.
Jansen Junk will fortunately not have to face Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who is still out right now. But he is available off the bench in a pinch-hitting situation. We heard from John Schneider this afternoon. Doesn't want to play him in the field. Remember, nursing that hamstring injury back. But this is still a really good lineup. Big task for Jansen Junk. Gabby and Jack have your call in 13 minutes. We'll break Expo question, Steve's guarantee. 4:10 first pitch right here on the Marlins Radio Network.
Ball games.
2-1 pitch. Augustine hits one high in the air, out to left and deep. That is monster bound and gone. That went over the monster and over the El Tiante Hart. Augustine Ramirez with a monster blast. It's homer number 18 on the year. The second homer for the Fish. It's 7-2. Red Sox in the top of the seventh. 1-1. Wagaman drills out to left center field and deep. That is monster bound, and it's gone. Wag attack over the monster. Eric Wagaman smashes a ball. Perfect no more for Crochet. He went 7 up, 7 down on cruise control, but Wagaman caught up to the heater. The 9th home run that Crochet has allowed on the four-seamer this year, 111 miles an hour off the bat, and that opens scoring. It's 1-0 Fish in the top of the third.
Pitch that I could hit.
Pitch again. That one past the dive of the third baseman. Bregman into left for a base hit. That brings in X, and Liam Hicks waits out Whitlock. He shoots an RBI single the other way, and it's a 1-run game. The tying run in scoring position with 2 men gone at the top of the 8th. It's 3-2 Boston. 0-1 pitch. That one hit well out to right center field. Rafaela on the move. Back to the track. At the wall. And it's gone to tie the game. That ball just kept on carrying. Dane Myers with a leadoff solo shot to right center into the Boston bullpen. Knots this game at 3. Anthony Bender is readying the Marlins bench. Marcy drills a ball out to right. Down the line towards Pesky's pole, and it's gone.
Stream now. Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WINCA in Miami, WMIB FM HD2 Fort Lauderdale. Free never sounded so good.
All right, folks, buckle up. 10 minutes away. Jansen Junk, Jose Barrios, live here from Lone Depot Park. Marlins on deck. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, Gabby Sanchez, ready to bring you some Marlins baseball on this Dominican Heritage Day, this City Connect Day. Big thanks to John Schneider, the manager of the Toronto Blue Jays, for joining the program, as well as Dan Schulman, the television voice of the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's get to our Expo question today at Marlins Radio. Because it is Dominican Heritage Day, it's an easy one. This should be a layup. Who is the all-time home run leader that is from the Dominican Republic in Major League Baseball? Make sure to vote at Marlins Radio. It is time for Steve's Guarantees.
Batter up. Batter up. Let's play some ball. First pitch is moments away. Time now for Steve's Guarantees.
Yeah, Jose Barrios, he's having trouble right now with that fastball. The velo is down. I like 2 lefties in the Marlins lineup to take him deep. Troy Johnson, I thought, went deep in center field yesterday. It just fell short of the warning track. I also like Jacob Marcy to hit a home run. So 2 southpaws in the lineup for the Marlins. I like taking Jose Barrios deep here this afternoon. Folks, I hope we got the itch for first pitch, because when we come back, Jack McMullen paints a picture. Gabby Sanchez, he's ready to rock. Starting lineups in first pitch is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins on Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together, Miami. Marlins baseball. It is next on the Marlins Radio Network.
I'm still going for it, even with